welcome back to another one of our skincare videos. So today we have a very fun, not fun, but like an important video because this needs to be talked about. So, of course we talk about acne, ways to prevent acne, all of that stuff. We've already talked about it. But what we haven't talked about is the different areas where you can get acne. Now, acne that you might get on your forehead or acne that you might get on your cheeks or on your chin are most of the time because of different reasons. And a lot of people don't know why that happens. So today we're gonna be kind of creating a map of your face and looking at if you get pimples in a certain area, why are you getting pimples there and how are ways you can prevent it. So let's get into it. The first place we're going to be looking at, I have a little chart here. So the first place we're going to be looking at is the forehead. Now, the forehead, there's quite a few reasons because when you find pimples on the forehead. Now, the first thing is oily hair. We've talked about this before, but oils, a lot of oils in your hair can seep onto your forehead and cause serious breakouts. It's important to make sure you're using the right hair care routine, you're using the right products that will prevent those oils because if you don't, you'll find a lot of breakouts. The next thing is stress. I know it's really hard to say, oh, stop being stressed, but if you can, try to limit the stress. Try to limit the stress in that area and, usually it comes to your forehead. Next is lack of sleep. Funny enough, sleep impacts you in so many ways and not sleeping can impact your acne as well. So try to get at least 8 hours of sleep because that is the recommended, especially for teenagers. And the last one is poor diet. So, poor diet, you always want to watch your diet. There are a few tales that are not exactly true, that are not true about acne, but there are some things about your diet that you might want to watch and do further research into what you're eating so that you make sure that you're not eating things that will seriously cause breakouts. Another thing is to avoid oily bangs. If you are someone with bangs, make sure you tend to them well and you want bangs and you want to keep and maintain your bangs. Make sure you're maintaining them properly because if you don't and you just let them grow out or whatever, you don't wash them properly, it can seriously cause a lot of buildup of oils in your forehead and then that will obviously impact. Next, we move on to the cheeks. The cheeks are from a few different reasons, but one that you might not think of is your dirty phone screen. If you're always talking on the phone, you're calling people, you're talking to people, and you have your phone pressed up right against your cheek, and you're always talking to people, and your phone is dirty, that can have a lot of dirt directly being slapped onto your face, which is really gross. Another thing is pillowcase. If you have a pillowcase that you haven't washed in a while, that can really cause breakouts because your pillow might be filled with dirt and, maybe oil from your hair has gone into the pillow. So you want to just make sure you're washing your pillow at a reasonable amount so that your pillow is always clean when you sleep. And pollution, obviously, that's a thing that happens with the environment, but always try to whatever you can do.
Yeah. Just stay as protected as you can from that.
Yeah. So to prevent this, wipe your phone and change your pillowcases 2 to 1 times per week. Your nose. Now this one also has a lot of different reasons because you can get pimples all over your nose for a bunch of different reasons.
And it's also not just pimples, it can also just be
clogged pores,
yeah,
all of that stuff, the not fun stuff. Oily skin, if you're prone to oily skin, try and find some products that will help combat that oil because having oily skin is never fun. It's a real pain, and especially for pimples love the oils because it helps them grow. Next, clogged pores. Try to use products that will unclog your pores or not clog your pores in the first place. Using the wrong products that will clog your pores can really cause those pimples
that build
to grow.
up.
Mm-hmm. Next, diet. Too much dairy or too much sugar can really, really cause breakouts in the nose. Especially the nose is the most impacted. So try to limit as much as you can the sugar if you notice that you're getting a lot of pimples on your nose and you want to prevent those. And just use acids, whatever. Yeah.
To prevent buildup in your nose.
Next, chin and jawline. So here and here.
Here and here.
Next, hormones. For a lot of teenagers, you go through hormones and pimples are a big thing that love to come out of those lovely hormones. So obviously you can't fight your hormones. So if you get pimples, it's perfectly natural. It's literally part of growing up. So
yeah, literally just try and find any products that you think will help combat those.
But don't feel so, pressured to have perfect skin. Nobody has perfect skin. Next, menstrual cycle. Everyone, especially for girls, some girls, especially in teenage years, will start to get their period, and it can cause a lot of influx in hormones. And once again, those pimples love to show up on those times. Now, for your chin and jawline, don't pop any pimples. We always talk about this, but
it can give you huge acne scars and just really irritate your skin.
And if you want, you can get different products and treatments that will help if you want to feel a little bit more confident with those pimples.
A couple things include like pimple patches, just like a stronger face wash can also really help with pimples.
Next, temples. So not just your forehead, but your temples in specific, which is like on the corners of your forehead. So your hair care products, maybe you're using the wrong hair care products that can, instead of helping you, they're actually hurting you. So make sure you're always doing the proper research on every single product. Also, check out your headwear. Make sure if you're wearing helmets a lot, maybe you bike to school or you bike to wherever you're going a lot, make sure you're checking and cleaning out those products. If you wear hats a lot, also make sure you clean them out properly.
Another thing is that helmets, they often have like a lot of buildup like over here, so just make sure it's all clean.
Also, wash around your hairline. When you're washing your face, you want to make sure you get all the way up to your hairline so you're really getting all aspects of your face. And the final place we're going to be covering for our facial mapping area is around the mouth. Now, this is mainly because of the things that you put on your mouth or in your mouth. So, toothpaste. If you're using the wrong toothpaste and maybe it gets around your mouth, make sure you wipe it after you finish brushing your teeth. Don't just leave it there. That's obviously not good, and it's probably uncomfortable too to have toothpaste. Next, lip balm. I see a lot of people who put on lip balm and they like smear it all over their mouth. And it's just not good for you because especially if you're using the wrong lip balm.
And it can also clog up your pores around there like really quick.
And it's not good to be using the wrong lip balm because it might be irritating your lips, but even if it's not irritating your lips, it might be irritating your skin. So make sure you're really careful with all of the products you're using. So we've covered all of the different aspects of the face and different ways that you might get pimples and how to prevent them. But the biggest thing that we've talked about is to always make sure that you're researching the product that you're using and you know what products you're using, so you're not using things that can harm you. Make sure you always use things that can help you, not harm you. So that was the end of this video. We hope that you liked it, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye!